Good morning, all. Welcome to Flashback Monday, where we talk about all the books in this magazine. Let's see, there's 270 in this one. So you see, would you, no pushing my books on the floor. Got a pile of Leaning Tower Pisa over here. Just gonna push them all on the floor. Um, So, no other magazine then or today covers this many books, this many reviews in a single issue of their magazine. No one. So, we are starting 2013 already. Can you believe it? We started with 2007 and we headed through 2016. And I've got an idea for what to do afterwards. I'm just waiting for some information from this person, and we'll see what happens. But before we get started, I wanted no Leaning Tower Pisa. Before we get started, I had some of these books, but I don't anymore. So I can't really show them as well as I used to. But for those of you who, now remember, this is 2013, okay? And for all of those of you who don't believe that stuff is still, that these books are still, these authors still write. You can still find these books. These books are still on the shelves. You can still find these books to purchase. What is going on with your ass today? Come here. Come here. Yes, ma'am. You gonna hang out? No, would you stop it with the books? Smokey. Oh, good lord. Alright. So this is talking about, and I wish I still had some of these books so I could show you, but I don't. But they have a little bit of a mailbag in the beginning of their magazine. And this one article from this lady was, they call it throwing shame. Once more, I was disheartened and disappointed to see the name E.L. James prominently displayed on yet another issue of RT. In the article about the Diva Moms, why you and so many others continue to heap accolades on this young woman who wrote bad smut fiction about another author's character is beyond me. Everything about her, what she did is wrong to me. She stole another actor's characters, changed their names, and then self-published, ripping off thousands of readers to the tune of $10 a book. I think it's more now. I'm still surprised the Twilight publisher and another author allowed this to happen. What disturbs me the most is that no one seems upset about the fact that this woman took a series of novels aimed at young impressionable teenagers and turned it to BDSM smut. Just thought I'd throw that out there. So, they took suit and followed up with a large article. 50 Shades to say. And after the 50 Shades came out, well, they changed their covers. And I had this one. I had this one. I had this one. I had quite a few of these. The Opal Carew. But so there's this big article on 50 Shades. And I just think it not for me. I can think of a hell of a lot better, well written stuff than 50 Shades. It might be the most well known, I guess, for the way it was marketed or whatever. But a little thing called Eller's Cave or Sandheim will get you smut. Opal Carew, Maya Banks, Lauren Dane, they'll all get you better smut. Much better, well written smut. Even Anne Rice. Although to go down the Anne Rice rabbit hole takes a little stomach. That movie sucked. They did a movie on one of the books, and instead of taking it the adult way, they got Rosie O'Donnell and they played it the silly way. It just didn't work because she did the Flintstones and it just didn't work. But anyway, let's get started here with we have about 70 books today. Where is, shoot. So, let's get started. Jennifer, no, not Jennifer. Heather Grothaus. Never Love a Lord. Naked guy on the cover. What did I do with my own? 4.5 stars. Readers waiting for the third Grothaus Fox sister series will not be disappointing. More emotional complex, this installment showcases Grothaus' talent for depth of characterization as she delves into a woman's heart and soul, uncovering for how her Herod will go for loyalty, love, and honor. And the plot, there's a multi-layered plot that will keep readers gripped from start to finish. It will take more than Julian Griffin and King Edward's will to remove Lady Sabella Fox from Falstow. The castle she protects. When they meet, Julian is struck by Sybil's ethereal beauty, inner strength, and underlying passion. He knows much about the lady and her family secrets, but he still wants to prove she is a traitor. Julian begins falling under the spell of Falstaff and Sybil after standing in the moonlight stone circle. Sybil cannot deny her desire for Julian, her fascination for his infant daughter, as their passion brings them together. Their love and the truth all they care about, and the weapons against their monarch's anger. I don't know how much this is going to show. I have this book, I just don't want to climb up to get it. Let's see how it shows. Shows Janet Ivanovich. Nope. There we go. The Husband List with Dorian Kelly. That was bad. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 4.5 stars. Ivanovich and Kelly team up for their first historical spinning off from Love in a Nutshell, a light, fun, and sexually charged confection that incorporates all the glitter and glamour of the 19th century tea in London. I'm pretty sure it's the only one they ever wrote. All-American heiress Caroline Maxwell wants independence and love from her brother's best friend, self-made businessman Jack Culhane. However, with her mother set on making her the wife of the future Duke, Lord Brenton, her dreams seem impossible. Mama rushes off to Newport before another debutante can catch Brennan's eye, and then across the Atlantic to ensure Caroline becomes the next Duchess. The more Jack notices Caroline's full figure, beauty, and spirit, the more he becomes intrigued. And when she starts requesting kissing lessons, he gets lost in her dreams. Okay. Oh, it's up there. I should have climbed this. It's up. I forgot, so let's just show a picture. The Lady Most Willing. It's up in the. I just forgot to go get it. The Lady Most Willing. Two of my authors. Julia Quinn, Eliza James, and Connie Brocklin. Oh, sure. 4.5 stars. The Lady Most Willing is a novel in 3 parts that displays how a trio of diverse writers can collaborate on interesting stories, still maintaining their distinctive styles. When the nephew's rebelling against marriage, Lord Taran Ferguson decides to fall back on tradition, bride stealing. He and his drunken cronies accidentally seize 4 ladies and 1 angry duke. Katrina Burns realizes she's the mistake in the abduction, since she is neither rich nor beautiful. But when she's left alone with John Shevington while the others find their way to rooms, an instant attraction begins. Can a duke wed a penniless commoner when an heiress pursues him? Taran nephew Byron is a man highly conscious of social convention and rather stuffy, which is why it's so intriguing when he becomes fascinated by Fiona Chisholm, a lady with a tattered reputation. Lady Cicely Charlton is too high in station and wealth for Taran's youngest nephew Robin, but he must learn to trust himself and love if he's to win the lady's heart. Aww. Uh, the scoundrel takes a bride. Stephanie Sloan. Let's see if I can get this. Naked guy on the cover. I should do an if then. Naked guy on the cover. The scoundrel takes a bride. Oh, I got a bride. I got up early to do this video because it takes 20 hours to upload, and I'm tired of being up at 3 o'clock in the morning waiting for this video to upload. Stephanie Sloan, with her flawless writing and complex character, Sloan, in the 5th of her Regency Rogue series, draws the readers into this deeply touching and sexually charged romance that is sure to warm the hearts and shows the power of love. After years, the case of her mother's unsolved murder has been reopened, and Lady Sophia plans to hunt down the murderer. She turns to one person who can help her childhood companion Nicholas Bourne, who is newly returned to England after spent time in India. As children, they were always at odds with one another, and it seems that as adults they still are. Underneath Nicholas' calm demeanor, there lies an aura of danger, and Sophia can't ignore the sexual pull. Aww. Um, Elizabeth Essex, A Breath of Scandal. Let's see. I can read this magazine for hours and find something new. There it is. Naked guy on the cover. Breath of Scandal in purple. Oh, shoot. Elizabeth Essex, 4.5 stars. Essex's second reckless bride certainly suits the title. The bold heroine easily wins readers' hearts along with her officer and gentleman hero. Unwilling to agree to the engagement her family desires, and what the hell? Antigone. Preston decides only a scandal will do, but punching a nobleman on the dance floor may be going too far. Her reputation in ruins, and Antone's only champion is the stranger whose eyes met hers in the ballroom. Career Navyman and Earl's son, Captain William Jellicoe, finds the fiery tempered Antigone a delight. He's never met a woman as bold and adventurous as he. There's no holding them back from taking the ballrooms, back alleys, taverns, and brothels of London by storm. Aww. You like that book? What do you think? Um, Connie Mason, waking with a rake. I don't think that book came through. Oh, yes, it did. Yes, ma'am. Um, they reissued a lot of her books. Um, Mia Marlowe reissued quite a few of her books. I probably have the original. I'll have to go look. Waking Up with a Rake. Connie Mason and Mia Marlowe. 4 stars. Mason and Marlowe have taken a bit of historical tidbit, the Hyndman race terrific, and made it into the foundation of their new trilogy, Royal Rakes. 3 rakes will come between royal dukes set on marrying their ways into the throne. And what better way to stop said dukes than by seducing the intended brides-to-be? Lord Reyes Warrington is still drinking and sleeping his way through London's notorious Demonade to forget his military disgrace and his family's disdain. Now he's given a chance to regain his honor. All he has to do is seduce an innocent and stop a duke from marrying him. But Miss Olivia Simmon is not what he expected. She's witty and unconventional. Flirtation turns to seduction. But Reyes doesn't have the heart to ruin it. When a bride in the country turns into a brush with death, the rake becomes the bodyguard. Aww. Naked guy on the cover. What? What? Smoke. I didn't do anything. Highlander claimed there was a huge, massive, and I think I've said this before. Everybody did Highlanders. It was a huge thing. And this was before Diana Gabaldon came out. Hannah Howell, Karen Rainey. We'll do a Highlander one. I'm planning on it. Or actually, I did a Highlander one. Now I'm gonna do a Scotland one. I've got all the stuff ready. So watch that for a couple of weeks. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Juliet Highlander claimed. Every once in a while, I'll yawn for hours. Highlander claimed. Naked guy on the cover. 4 stars. Miller makes a stunning debut with her first clan in Clan Mackenzie trilogy. Mackenzie, we've heard that name before. It's action-packed romance full of fierce warriors, strong women, rebelling clans, and secrets worth killing for. When her lad tries to force himself on her, Rose stabs him and escapes the keep. She takes shelter on Mackenzie land, and a fateful encounter throws her in the path of Wilkie Mackenzie. He's entranced by the angelic roses and will defy duty and clan to claim her as his own. Aww. A convenient bride. Oh, I'm so sorry. R37. Cheryl Ann Smith. Why did I don't know how well you can see that. Sorry. Richard Ellerby is hunting down his runaway sister when he stops Brennan's Harrington's coach. The young miss is fleeing her parents and believes him to be a highwayman, perfect for her shame to be ruined in a void marriage. Richard turns her down, but not before he notices her charm. When Brennan is sent to school for brides, she promptly runs away to find Richard. Together they continue their search for his sister. A school for brides? Okay. Moving on. Let's go to inspirational. One of the podcasters that I watch yawns with his mouth open and doesn't even cover it. And I want to say in the chat part for him to close his mouth, to cover his mouth, but I don't want to get flat back from anybody else. So I don't say anything. but he continually yawns with his mouth open and without covering with his hand. Olivia Newport, the Dilemma Charlotte Farrow. Did I see that on a bigger page? There we go. Olivia Newport. 4.5 stars. Book 2 in Newport's Avenue of Dreams series is a wonderful historical romance that is everything fans in this genre look forward to. Romance, intrigue, and secrets, as well as characters that are rich in detail but not over the top. Newport is a wonderful writer who expertly mixes fiction with some facts from actual places and events. Charlotte Farrow has kept a big secret from her employers in Chicago for a year, and she is concerned when the woman who caring for her young son comes to Prairie Avenue to play her place of employment with the child and tells her that she can no longer take care of him no longer. Charlotte comes up with a plan to fix her problem and sets things into motion that will affect her and her son for a lifetime. Better be careful there. The Lawyer's Lawyer, James Sheehan. Does that look like an inspirational book to you? This green? Does it? It doesn't look like an inspirational book to me. 4.5 stars. Sheehan's latest novel reads like a hearty, delicious stew. As you dig into each bit of legal mystery, you can come away savoring each part. The plot is well crafted, the characters are authentic, gritty, and sympathetic, and the story's theme is crystal clear. Trial attorney Jack Tobin is known as the lawyer's lawyer, whom the best lawyers could love to have representing them in a fight. When he's asked to represent Thomas Felton, a serial killer on death row, he takes the case believing Felton has been set up. This decision puts him at odds with local authorities and townspeople as well as the woman he loves. Okay? Ashton Park. Murray Pura, Pura, 4.5 stars. Rich historical detail and vivid characterization bring the Danforth family to life as they struggle with wartime distress and diminishment of class boundaries that result in romance between nobility and staff that would have been impossible for the global conflict. William in particular wrestles with his conscience and his faith as he's tempted to maintain social inequity, realizing that God loves everyone equally. Sir William and Lady Elizabeth Danforth of Ashton Park in Lancashire, England, along with their 7 children and various estate servants, weather World War I and the social enduring changes throughout their mutual support and power of prayer in this first book of Pura's Danforth of Lancaster series. See what happens. Under the Summer Sky. Why did I... Alright, let's back up here. Vanished, Irene Hannon. 4 stars. Hannon's latest has a wonderful mix of suspense and romance. Although the villain is revealed toward the beginning, the motivation behind the crime is uncovered at a pace that will keep readers interested and engaged. As the reporter Moira Harrison is driving home through a rainstorm, she sees a woman in the middle of the desert road. In her attempts to stop, Moira is unable to avoid hitting her. A bystander offers to help, and Moira loses consciousness, only to awaken later and find herself alone. After the police arrive, there's no sign of the woman she hit. Did Moira imagine the whole thing? See what happens. Laurie Copeland. Under the Summer Sky. That looks more like an inspirational. God, this computer's so bad. Um, uh, 4 stars. The Dakota Diaries series is an enjoyable family saga that joins generations with love and compassion and keeps readers wanting more. Miss Trinity Franklin is researching for her deceased brother Rob's land, as well as she is introduced to lively characters. She encounters obstacles that would test any Christian's faith as she begins to search for the deed. Soon she is homeless and penniless and at the mercy and grace of the small town of Gewaldo. She feels forced into selling the land as soon as possible to gain some financial stability, but she may not receive a fair price. A man who works for the railroad has rubbed Trinity the wrong way, and she wonders if selling to him is the only way out of her troubles. When she makes new friends and finds a new relative, will she stay in DeWaldo? Waiting for spring. 4 stars. The second book of the Westwood Wind series had memorable characters who have what it takes to survive in the wilds of Wyoming territory in the late 1800s. The storyline flows smoothly throughout, and there are few surprises for readers to discover. Charlotte Harding has endured a rough year. She lost her husband before the birth of her baby. She hopes the worst of the pain is over and her life will only get better. Barrett Landry, a cattle baron who's running for political office, encounters Charlotte while waiting for visiting Miriam, the woman he intends to marry. He feels a strong connection to Charlotte and starts to think that maybe he is wooing the wrong woman. Could be. Um, Sally Lady, Lily's Plight. Sally Laity and Diana Crawford, 4 stars. The final installment in the Harwood House series is a gripping adventure yarn of poignant, satisfying, against all odds romance. The authors breathe the vibrant life into a lesser known period of colonial history, presenting memorable, engaging characters as well as their daily struggles. Endured to a farming Indentured to a farming family on the Pennsylvania frontier, Lily Hardwood tends her dying mistress Susan Walden and her children with tender care, as Susan's husband John fights in the French and Indian War. When John returns home, Lillian struggles to hide her deep passion for him, a shameful secret only made worse by Susan's threats and John's heartfelt appreciation for Lily's loyalty. Oops. Um, the tutor's daughter. I don't, um, tutor's daughter. Fans will rejoice with Classen's latest sweet Regency historical story. The storyline flows fairly well throughout the book, and Gothic touches heighten the reading enjoyment. When Emma Smallwood's widowed father must close his academy for well-to-do boys, she travels with him to Cornwall Coast. There he tutors the 4 sons of a baronet. When mysterious things begin to occur and danger mounts, Emma must figure out which of the baronet's older sons, Philip or Henry, is to be trusted. See what happens. Um, to honor and trust. Tracy Peterson and Judith Miller. Kelly de Boyer isn't sure about where her future lies. A new arrival to Bridal Veil Island, she is employed as a governess. Upon receiving letters from her family, she feels she needs to join them in the mission fields of Africa. After escaping to Africa seems even more attractive when she's accused of stealing some priceless jewels. Then Callie meets Wesley Townsend and begins to care for him deeply. When she discovers secrets about his past, she wonders if she can honor and trust him. We'll see what happens there. On to mainstream fiction. Here I go again, Jen Lancaster. Solid green cover. That's about it. 4.5 stars. As the films Back to the Future and Peggy Sue Got Married did for generations that came age in the 50s, Here I Go Again brings time travel back to high school glory days to a generation. Lizzie Ryder ruled the school back in the 90s as head of her high school clique, the Bellas, but adult life hasn't turned out so great for Lizzie as she finds her mean girl ways don't translate well in the real world. After Lizzie loses her job and her husband, she ends up living back at her parents' house in her old room. At her 20th high school reunion, Lizzie realizes what a truly negative impact her behavior had on her peers and vows to change. Can she? Is it possible? We shall see. The Plum Tree. It's a little on the yellow side. I don't know. It's just yellow. Ellen Marie Wiseman, 4.5 stars. This title is an extraordinary debut novel in which the author's childhood trips visiting family in Germany impart a heartbreaking realism. A Holocaust story told from the unlikely perspective of a German teenage girl in love with a Jewish boy. It explores the horrors and fears of innocent citizens on the home front, as well as the risks they were willing to take to do the right thing. 17-year-old German housekeeper Christine is overjoyed when her Jewish employer's son Isaac confesses that he shares her feeling. But just as the pair are exploring their romance, Hitler's regime threatens to tear them apart forever. The young couple maintain the relationship in secret until it becomes too dangerous. Christine's love for Isaac eventually threatens her family and takes her all the way to Dachau. But that love also gives her enough hope to stay alive. It's not good. It's not good. Lord saves the day. Aw, he's a kitty cat. And mine has abandoned me. And she's asleep. Moke! She's asleep over there. Gwen Cooper, 4 stars. Cooper's latest centers on a story of love and loss told mostly through the splendid voices of Prudence, a brown tabby cat, and her owner Laura. Cooper's beautiful words tell a moving story of the sometimes fragile relationship between mothers and daughter. Read I think it's the Black Candle. I know it's the Candle. And I think the author's last name is Brown. I'm not sure. But the book is purple. I did a video on it. So just scroll through my videos for Candle last summer, maybe before that. It's a relationship book between. I picked it up thinking it was paranormal, and it was paranormal, but it was also a relationship between generational women. It was interesting. Prudence the cat notices that her owner Sarah hasn't returned for 5 days, and the cat's sense tells her something is not quite right. Yeah, she must be awful hungry. Sarah's daughter Laura arrives to take Prudence to live with her and her husband. Prudence hopes that Sarah will be back to get her. In the meantime, she begins to seek the care and love from Laura. It's an emotional ordeal for Laura as she learns to live on without her mother and care for this unexpected new companion in her life. Oh, it's getting me depressed. I do not think that is for me. Um, I don't think. Why is this here? Oh, Lord saves the day. Oh, we did that right. Sarah Rayner, the 2 week wait. Just a couple of cups of tea. That is not coming out too good. Uh, While parts of this novel move a little too slowly, the overall parallel story of cancer survivor and lesbian is heartfelt and will tug at your emotions. Rayner skillfully showcases the similarity between two diverse characters. Kath is a cancer survivor who regrets that she cannot give her devoted husband a child. Determined to make her family grow and celebrate her health, she looks into perspective of sharing, egg sharing, allowing another woman to be harvested with her husband's sperm. The procedure is pricey one and there's a chance it won't work. Enter Lou, a lesbian who underwent surgery, realizing that time is short. She begins her idea of becoming a mother. Learning of the egg sharing program, she decides to sign up to share the gift with motherhood with another woman. Okay. Um, The Road to Cardinal Valley. Erling Fowler. This nice story that catches us with characters from previous books. The Saddle Maker's Wife is easy to get attached to all of these characters, especially Ruby, who has been through so much but still fights to make sure she has happiness in her life. Ruby has had it easy, and when she brought the husband Ashes back to the small town of Cardinal, California, she never thought she would return. Oh, God. It is cold in here. The Road to Cardinal Valley, 4.5 stars. Arlene Fowler. This is a nice story that catches us up with characters from Fowler's previous book, The Saddle Maker's Wife. It's easy to get attached to all of these characters, especially Ruby, who has been through so much but still fights to make sure she has happiness in her life. Ruby has not had it easy, and when she brought her husband's ashes back to small town of Cardinal, California, she never thought she would return. However, this small town is exactly what she needs for her brother, Nash, who is struggling with his alcohol addiction. Cardinal is a place where people are eager to help, and Ruby is hoping that Nash can get his life together. Unfortunately, Nash's recovery takes a turn for the worse, and Ruby knows she must find her estranged mother to add support. It's not easy for Ruby, Nash, and their mother to look past all of the years of secrets, but some secrets need to come out. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Are you back? Um, and that is it with mainstream fiction. We have a brief stop in teen. She left me again. Um, Shades of Shades of Earth. 4.5 stars. Revis totally kills it in her Across the Universe trilogy. Ender taking her plot twisting mania to an entirely new levels. Reader will never know what's coming next. Elder, Amy, and some of her passengers from Godspeed are ready to land on Centauri Earth. After a rocky landing, Amy rushes to awaken the Frozens, including her parents. While Elder tries to deal with the foretold monsters outside, Amy's father takes command, butting heads with Elder as relations between the two groups go strained. But they must learn to work together. Centauri Earth is in danger. And through the night, through the Evernight. Veronica Rossi, 4 stars. A worthwhile sequel. Rossi's second book avoids the terminal journeys that so often take place in bridge novels, and the action is nonstop without deteriorating into contrived conflict. Aria and Peregrine again trade chapters and voices as they weave around one another, sometimes together, more often torn apart. Aries back in Revere, heartbroken, her worst fears confirmed. She returns to the outside as the dweller's only hope. She must find the rumored stale blue before the human race is doomed. Perry has a similar goal in mind for the Tides, for whom he has taken over as Bloodlord. No loyalties will be tested. See what happens there. On to sci-fi. The Explorer. Just a black cover. 4.5 stars. Science fiction is best when it does what we least expect. When it transforms narrative into something you don't see coming. The Smythe guides this tale with a sure hand, leading readers along a non-linear path where anything might happen, and what does happen will make you reconsider all that happened before. Cormac Easton is a journalist and astronaut, both sent to document the first man's mission into deep space. Naturally, nothing on the journey seems to go according to plan. When the crew wakes for hypersleep, they find their captain dead again. In an allegedly failed proof capsule, Mission Control tells the crew that the mission must continue no matter what. When the body count begins to rise, Cormac knows the mission wouldn't possibly be able to advance if he's the only survivor. Okay. Figures at the bottom of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And it's still around today. Harry Turtledove. Supervolcano all fall down. 4.5 stars. In book 2 of Turtledove's brilliant post-apocalyptic fantasy trilogy, he picks up 2 years after the volcanic eruption, setting himself apart from other writers of dystopian fiction. Turtledove not only gives us the big picture, he also humanizes it by focusing on the tragedies suffered by the individual, especially his Ferguson family. The supervolcanic under Yellowstone blew 2 years ago, wiping out much of Middle America. What passes for life goes on, with some faring better than others. Power is sporadic, fuel is almost non-existent, food is scarce, and people are surviving however they can. Near LA, Colin Ferguson, his wife geologist Kelly, and son Marshall survived better than most of the United States. Colin's oldest son, Rob, has been stuck in Maine ever since the volcano blew, where it's winter most of the year. Meanwhile, Colin's daughter, Vanessa, has barely escaped deadly ash, struggles to remain alive in a refugee camp. Okay. And I just saw this. Lynn Kurland, Dream Spinner, 4.5 stars. The always awe-inspiring Kurland kicks off this latest installment of her Nine Kingdoms series by focusing on Runak of Singal. who is wounded, powerless, and without magic. Curlin's heroine is hampered by a nearly complete lack of knowledge of the world around her, and her hero wants nothing more than an unremarkable life. Since she was a small child, Aisling of Bruda has been consigned to life as a weaver's apprentice. Aisling has dreamed of escaping her lot, but she never envisioned being forced on a quest to save her kingdom. Aisling must travel to the opposite end of the world, find an assassin, and bring him back to force an upser off the throne. If she fails, she will die. Elven Prince Runek of Singal, whose magic was stolen by his father, has decided that he will become a hired swordsman. On his way to train with Crymor Wedger, Runek stumbles upon Aisling's masquerading as a boy. Intrigued, he assists her, but their alliance is attracting dangerous, unwanted attention. See what happens there. Um, Blowback. What did I do? Let's do this one while it's here. The Hermetic Millennia. John C. Wright. A continuation of Count to a Trillion. Wright's latest is a set at a slower pace than most space operas, but the novel more than makes up with brilliant speculative information about what the future holds for planet Earth. After discovering that in 8,000 years aliens will visit Earth and possibly enslave humans, mathematical genius good God, Menelaus has chosen to freeze himself once again so that he can be alive for the actual conflict. However, 8,000 years of sleep doesn't come easy for Montrose, who was awakened early, only to discover that those who were frozen with him are gone. Suspecting his colleague Blackie, who went rogue after injecting him with some biological chemical responsible for Melanie's intelligence, Melon is determined to intercept Blackie, who threatens Earth present and past. Okay. And Blowback. Rush. Christine Catherine Rush, 4 stars. Rush offers up a well-told mystery, interesting characters, and a complex, riveting storyline that concludes a healthy dose of suspense, all building to an end that may not be what appears. 19 cities were bombed 6 months ago. Chief of Security for the United Domes of the Moon, Noella, recalled in Miles Flint to help find out why. A former rival artist whose job it was to find people who have disappeared. Miles retired to raise his daughter. Noelle has called him on to do some serious investigation work. What were these attacks about, and who was behind them? Is the attack leading to one against Earth Alliance, or is it about something else entirely? Bring an alliance with fugitive operatives off the book detectives and this daughter Talia. Miles dig deeper into the forces behind the attacks. See what happens there. And why did I? Oh, but it didn't show. Um, I did add on to mystery. Hessa Harris. The dead shall not rest. We may look into this one. 4.5 stars. The second in Dr. Thomas Silkstone series shows the same excellent historical setting, well-developed characters, careful plotting, and suspenseful tension as their first. Silkstone is a young autonomous from Philadelphia. In 1782, the science of forensics is just beginning. Dead bodies are needed. Too often, those needed for dissection by doctors were obtained by body snatchers who dug them up illegally. Thomas Silkstone's rival is Dr. John Hunter. Unlike Thomas, Hunter has no scruples about how bodies are obtained or who the body he dissects belonged to. When he learns that Charles Byrne is about to die, he almost determined to get his body. At almost 8 feet tall, Byrne was known as the Irish Giant. To prevent Hunter from obtaining his corpse, Byrne arranges to be buried at sea. When Hunter is implicated in the terrible murder of a young Castro, Silk doesn't allow his disapproval of Hunter's methods from finding out the truth. Okay. Um, Footprints in the sand. 4.5 stars. Chalk, another hit for Clark and Piper Donovan series, featuring wedding finery, romantic beaches, and murder. A wedding in beautiful romantic Sarasota, Florida is just the ticket out of New Jersey's winter, and Piper and her family head out to her cousin's wedding. Not only is she the maid of honor, Piper is going to be creating the sugar and sand dollar festoon wedding cake. With a little luck, sexy FBI agent boyfriend will be able to get away to join them for a few days. Who knows? He might get some ideas of his own. Too bad things start to go wrong before the big day. A bridesmaid disappears, a neighbor's car is run off the road, and the witness is told to keep quiet. Then a body turns up at the wedding site. Okay. What can go wrong at a beach wedding? There you go. Um, the Blood Gospel. James Rollins and Rebecca Cantrell. 4.5 stars. Fast-paced action, an intriguing plot, and compelling characters make this novel tough to put down. In their collaborative efforts, Rollins and Cantrell have created a novel that brings out the best in their individual storytelling talents. Archaeologist Aaron Gringer is summoned to an earthquake site in the historic city of Masada in Israel. U.S. Army agent Sergeant Joan Stone is also called to investigate the source of a deadly gas that killed hundreds on the site. Along with Father Rune Kaza, the trio begin a quest that goes far beyond science or terrorism. After barely escaping a brutal attack while in an ancient subterranean tomb, Jordan and Aaron enter a world of mythological creatures and long-hidden truth. Shepherded by the mysterious Father Kozan, the trio races to locate a gospel rumored to have been written by Christ himself. Okay. I couldn't find this one. I'm gonna throw it in anyway. It's gonna have a cartoon cover on it. All her stuff is cartoonish. I should have brought the one. Actually, I'm gonna do two without books. Um, they didn't put it in here at all. It's usually a little on the cartoonish side, and I like her, so I'm just gonna. I should have brought the other one over here. Um, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And I've had this. I've had this other one too. I don't have it right now. What a Ghoul Wants. What a Ghoul Wants. Victoria Laurie, 4 stars. The Ghoul Getters gang heads back to Europe in its latest installment of Laurie's long-running Ghost Hunter series. Getting BFF and fellow ghost hunter Gilly Gillespie to the site of the next Ghoul Getters cable TV episode is almost more than MJ Holiday can handle. Where is mine? See. How does... There you go. Um, Getting BFF and fellow ghost hunter Gilly Gillespie to the site of her next Goal Getters cable TV episode is almost more than MJ Holliday can deal with. Gilly's fear is becoming monumental, and once they arrive at Kidwell Castle in northern Wales, MJ begins to suspect his instincts are correct. The castle now is an inn is rumored to be haunted by the Grim Widow, a deadly ghost that drowns unsuspecting victims in the moat. After a body is discovered in the moat and then Heath is nearly drowned by the widow, MJ fears the danger unlike ever before. Doesn't come out very well, does it? What a cool one. Bewitched, Bothered, and Biscotti by Bailey Cates. Aw, there's a pussycat on the cover. It doesn't work very well, does it? 4 stars. In the second installment of the Magical Bakery series, Kate delivers a tale of magic and mayhem. Kate and her coven are quite electric bunch of witches. The mystery plot will have readers guessing who done it all the way through. That works a little. Katie Lightfoot is struggling to come to terms with the fact that she is a witch. Running the Honeybee Bakery with her aunt and uncle is adding confusion in her life. And to top it all off, 2 very handsome men, Declan and Steve, are interested in her romantically. When Kate is on a picnic lunch with Declan, they discover a dead body. Kate notices that there's a strange tattoo on the man's arm. After being questioned by detectives, they are released from the scene. Back at the bakery, Kate's spell book club, a diverse of witches, wonders what this tattoo means. When one of the members recognizes the tattoo as a symbol of an ancient druid clan, things really begin to heat up. Alright. And another lady who's around, and I own quite a few of her books. More paranormal. Merciless. Laurie Armstrong, tough, talented, and tormented Mercy Gunderson is one of the straight shooting female characters since Kinsey Malone came down the pike. This time, Mercy juggling her new FBI assignment to find the murderer of tribal chief niece, her own crazy family, the man she loves, Eagle River County Sheriff Mason Dawson, and his estranged son, who had been exiled to their ranch. It's Mercy's first FBI murder case. A teenage related to the recently elected tribal president is dead. Mercy and her partner Shay Turnbull are at odds when another killing occurs. They are also dealing with politics, old family vendettas, and discord among the tribal police, the tribal council, and the feds. A crazy man at work and his dangerous cat and mouse game is rigged to make Mercy the next victim. But Mercy isn't ready to die yet. We'll see what happens there. And I guess we'll go on to romantic suspense. Jane Ann Krantz, Dream Eyes. 4.5 stars. The Cooper Smith family and the unique affinity for crystals are again on display in the second in Krantz' exhilarating Dark Legacy series. A psychic serial killer is on the loose, and it is up to Gwen Fraser to prove it. Gwen Fraser works as a psychic counselor, viewing auras and interpreting dreams. Gwen also works with her friend and mentor Evelyn Ballinger on Evelyn's psychic research projects. When Gwen finds Evelyn dead, her talents tell her it was a psychic murder. Judson Cooper Smith, who runs an investigative service with his brother Sam, takes the case and upon viewing the scene realizes someone very dangerous is stalking their prey. It doesn't It's an unsuspecting cover for something so dark of a story, don't you think? It misleads you into false safetyness with the waterfall and stuff. Interesting. A lady we have talked about a lot. Cat Martin, Against Odds. 4.5 stars. Martin just keeps getting better and better. Her characters have more depth and her plots are more sinister as Against series continues. Sabrina Eckhart is sure that there's a hidden silver mine out in West Texas. Desert land she inherited, one that will help her financial problems disappear if she lives to find it. That's why she hires private investigator Alex Justice. He's an overbearing and arrogant former Navy pilot, but he's exactly what she needs as accidents plague their search, starting with a helicopter crash. He's still sexy, tough, and determined to keep her alive. It would appear that Sabrina's inheritance could be more of a curse than a blessing. See what happens there. Oh, let me look. Healing Time. 4.5 stars. Bestseller Gerard spins off a new series, One-Eyed Jacks, featuring the survivors of a mission gone horribly wrong. Gerard's name has become synonymous with high stakes and high action adventures that don't skimp on either romance or thrills. It's the 8th anniversary of the debacle that was Operation Slam Dunk, which cost Mike Brown his career and his friends. So Mike is doing what he always does on the anniversary, get drunk. However, this year Mike is drugged by a mysterious woman with her own set of questions regarding what happened in Afghanistan. CIA attorney Eve Salinas was set a secret file. While it blamed Mike for the death of his fellow soldiers, it also opened up some questions. Mike accepted the blame for the disaster as a way to save his 2 surviving friends. He also had no leads as to what really happened. Eve's file contains the first threads that might allow Mike to uncover the truth. Hey, and he's got clothes on too. Where is, let's see, Jill Sorensen, After the Shock. I think I was looking for that. Naked guy on the cover. And there she goes again. Me and this clock. Oh, God. 4 stars. A very suspenseful look at people trapped in a freeway collapse after earthquake. Lauren is on the job responding to a call for paramedics when the freeway collapses and she's trapped in a huge cavern sealed in by rubble and crashed cars. As she tries to assess the disaster, she meets 8 other people wondering in what could become their tomb. A guy named Garrett, who appears to be ex-military, helps her set up a triage. Together they find an RV with a grandfather and a granddaughter and a very pregnant woman, several badly injured people, and some threatening convicts. Okay. Just want to go back just a second. I left this one out. And I just want to do it real quick. Why didn't... Oh. The Good House. Anne Louis. Small town life and small secrets take up the care of this novel that a witty family at times, thought-provoking as told to the viewpoint of an unlikely heroine and in-denial alcoholic. Hitty Good lives in a small town near Boston where she's successful real estate broker, neighbor, mother, grandmother, and alcoholic. There are already been one intervention, but Hildy doesn't believe that she has a problem. She limits herself to drinking wine at home to hide her drinking from her daughters. She gets embroiled in a scandal in the making that could destroy a man's life and career. In all of that, she finds the time to fall back in love with an old flame, but she needs to stop drinking too. We'll go back to that. All right, now let's see. I think one more from mystery, and usually to me, this woman belongs in paranormal and or the erotica section. But anyway, um, and she's also taking advantage of her title. Where'd it go? Shades of Grey. Fornif does. Banks returns to her KGI series, this time focusing on PJ and Cole after a harrowing mission gone wrong. The story becomes Banks because her trademark sizzling love scenes. Teammates PJ and Cole have been fellow snipers for years, but Cole never let on about his deeper feelings for PJ after a passionate night together. They are sent on a mission to take down a major trafficker in white slavery. PJ takes a major role after surviving a brutal attack. She goes on a revenge mission without her team. She's missing for 6 months when Cole and the team catch up with her and must repeatedly reinforce the fact that they are family and she doesn't have to face anything alone. Okay, let's move on to contemporary romance. Oh, excuse me, my nose. Um, the chocolate kiss. Hmm. It's the book though. It has the lines in it. It's not my computer. It's actually the book cover. Laura Florin, 4.5 stars. The polar ice caps are melting. Blame Laura Florin. In her latest Choco-centric French romance, Florin serves as a mouth-watering tale of slow-burning passion and combustible consumption that's as perfectly crafted as the hero's surprisingly complex confections, as silky and addictive as the heroine's dark chocolate cloud. Scarred by a rootless childhood, Maggie Chaudron has finally carved out her place in the world, making chocolate chard in her eccentric aunt's equality eccentric tea shop, nestled in the heart of Paris's tranquil St. Louis. Magley's chaste sanctuary is threatened, however, when the infuriating, self-confident, and utterly deniable sexy Master Chef Phillips Leonos opens up with one of his world-famous pastries just down the block. The perfect fit, Carly Phillips. 4.5 stars. Hey fans, we are back in serendipity. Phillips has hit a gold vein with characters she admires in this captivating town. And here she introduces readers to a new family, distinct but with plenty of the same real life drama that was so intriguing in Phillips' last family. Mike Marsden has always had itchy feet. He left small town for undercover work in Manhattan years ago, but now his father is battling cancer and he asked Mike to be an acting police chief. Handling the department is doable, but handling B-Cop Kara Hartley is not so simple. They once shared an unforgettable night, but she is attached to serendipity and stability, and he is not. Yet her attitude, drive, and very hot body make it difficult to ignore the attraction between them. But when $10,000 in marked bills are found in evidence locker, the mayor wants answers. See what happens there. Um, Kim La, Sugar Springs. 4 stars. Filled with engaging characters, Sugar Springs is a typical everyone knows everyone business small town. Lawfully portrays heroine Lee Ann doubts and fears as well as hero Cody's struggle to be a better person. Having raised her half-sister's twin girls for 12 years with the help of her mother, Leanne London is not pleased when their fellow veterinarian Cody Dallin returns to Sugar Springs. Cody was her high school love until she caught him with her sister. He left town immediately with the idea that he wasn't good enough for Leanne. Now he wants to make amends to the town he feels he treated disrespectfully. Leanne has believed all these years that Cody didn't want his girls, but now he never even knew they existed. Okay. Um, Chance of a Lifetime. Jodie Thomas. You do that. It's right there. Let's see if we can. There you go. 4 stars. With beautifully prose and thought-provoking plot, Thomas brings to life the delightful town of Harmony and its captivating inhabitants. Once again, there are familiar faces and new ones involved in the heartwarming romance and intriguing mystery. Harmony's inhabitants live quiet yet interesting lives. Librarian Emily Tomlinson and Tannen Parker have passed that tragically separated them. However, Emily is once again drawn into Tannen's life after visiting his sick mother and becoming best friends again. Young musician Beau Yates is determined to find a smart girl his age who likes him for himself. Could the mysterious girl in the red Mustang be the one? Lawyer Rick Matheson wants to fight for the wrongly accused, yet adds up defending crooks, which may have put his life in danger. Robin K., back to you. Naked guy on the cover. Almost a naked guy. Set in Red Hook, Brooklyn, featuring a wayward hometown boy and a sassy, insecure lover at its center. Kay's tale is chock full of distinct, unique characters straight out of genuine New York neighborhood. After 11 years, Storm Decker returns to his hometown of Red Hook, Brooklyn, and to the people he left behind, but he finds that things have changed dramatically. Red Hook is not the same, and neither are his family and old friends. His ex-girlfriend Brianna Collins is too happy to see him, still hurt by the fact that he left her without word all those years ago. So let's see what happens there. Oh. Oh, where was this? I don't have the river. I have the others, but I don't have the river. Linda Mail Miller. I love me some McKittricks. Miller's return to Parable is a charming story of love in its many forms. The hero's struggles are handled in an informed and heartwarming way. After the death of his wife, Parable County Sheriff Boone Taylor lets his sister and husband take on the raising of his 2 sons. But when his brother-in-law is injured, Boone must bring his sons home. Trying to make a go of a chicken farm has Tara Kendall wondering why she left New York City, until she remembers her failed marriage. When her ex calls with the request to send his 12-year-old twin daughters to stay with him, she is delighted since she has missed them. With the kids now in equation, Tara and Boone, who barely tolerated one another as neighbors, get to know each other quickly. Just gonna. Joanne Ross. Sea Glass winner. Fans will enjoy this lovely visit to Shelter Bay. While the pace is somewhat slow, it's heartwarming to watch old friends settle into life. Dylan Slater had a very high adrenaline job in Afghanistan bomb disposal. Now he's teaching high school physics and coaching basketball. Life is good, and he's determined to teach leadership and teamwork to the not-so-quite prime-time students. So the rival of Estelle in basketball Phenomenon from Beverly Hills is a challenge, especially when the hotshot comes with a hot single mother. Claire Templeton moves to tiny Shelter Bay after a very hard year in Los Angeles. Death in the family, troubles at high school, and too much fame, with its side dish of ego and temptation, make her a major change in environment for her son Matt. She has always been devoted to her son, making her living at art by blowing glass in a beautiful jewelry. However, a change of place doesn't seem to have a big effect on Mac, which brings her into contact with Coach Dillon. Let's see what he can do there. So, on to paranormal. Gal pal over here. Elsie Kroll. 4.5 stars. For her next marvelous adventure, Cole takes a side trip into the realm of blood and mist to focus on the Dacians. In the Time of Cole series, the events in this book appear to happen simultaneously with those of Lothar. Prince Trellan Dakin is the legendary assassin of the Dakin House of Shadows, charged with keeping the existence of Dacia a secret when a deathly one named Casparian manages to leave Dacia. Trajan's duty is to kill him, tracking him to Abaddon. Trajan not only discovers Caspian, but half demon, half sorceress, Bettina, who is Trajan's destined bride. Bettina's guardians have set up a deadly contest where a multitude of suitors must battle to the death to win Bettina's hand and the throne. See what happens. Where is... Oh, it's behind me now. I moved it. Okay. Black Fallen. Ellie Jasper. 4.5 stars. Riley Poe has come a long way from her being a rebellious tattoo artist. Her character has grown and adapted and matured, and I enjoy her journey more with each novel. Riley Poe is changed after living through the bites of 3 very powerful vampires. Riley has absorbed their power as she learns to control her newfound strength and abilities. She decides to join the elite worldwide unexplained phenomenon team with her fiancé and vampire protector Eli Dupree. This talented team of werewolf, druids, vampires, and others has been assigned to dispatch the farm. The powerful dark angels have consumed a great and evil magic and are searching for the ultimate power source in Edinburgh, Scotland. Riley and her newly acquired skills are WUP's ace in the hole against these dangerous creatures. The Fallen are more dangerous than anything Riley's faced before. She can only hope she gains enough control to fight them and win, or their dark magic will overwhelm her. My other gal pal. Gina Showalter. Showalter shows off a talent for innovation in her launch of the Otherworld Assassin series, which features a small group of otherworlders living on Earth, where they are caged like zoo animals. This dark and edgy novel features 2 damaged protagonists trapped in a horrific situation with few options. Since they were children, Solo, John, and Corbin have been trained by Michael Black to be elite agents, but in spite of this preparation, they are ambushed and captured by the evil Gregory Straub. When Solo regains consciousness, he finds he has been sold to a twisted circus that displays otherworlders as caged attraction. In a chilling twist, magic allows the circus to vanish when threatened. Vika Lucas is also trapped by the circus, but in a different fashion. Vika's father is the circus owner, and deaf Vika is tasked with taking care of the animals. Beaten and tortured by her father, Vika continues to hunt for a way to free the captives from their magical prison. Lauren Dane, Beneath the Skin. Naked guy on the cover. Although it's a little dark, you might not see. New readers will have no trouble coming into the series with this book, and fans De La Vega cats are going to love the story of Mia and Gibson. This super hot shifter story has plenty of tension before things really get going. Still recovering from the effects of a terrible hate crime, Mia Porter ends up saving the life of Gibson de la Vega, the bringer of her local group of shape-shifting werejaggers. The cat inside her is attracted to Gibson, but the bad blood between their families has her keeping her distance. Gibson takes his role of protector seriously. However, and when Maya is threatened, he vows to keep her safe. Cool beans. A taste of ice. Almost naked girl on the cover. No, wait, that is a guy. She's standing behind him. Yep, that's a guy. It takes skill to transform a former villain into a hero. In this case, Martine definitely succeeds. Xavier is an extremely damaged individual who is waging a fight for his sanity. New talent Martine's world of elementals is a gripping creation that pushes the envelope, populated with races regard each other in distrust and anger. Until Gwen Caraway, an Orphean water element, managed to upend Orphean society and free the Tendron slaves on Earth, Xavier Jones was spending his life as an unwilling sperm donor in an Orphean plant. Now, years later, Xavier works as a chef in a Colorado mountain town, trying to build a life among the primaries or humans. Cat Heading arrives in town in anticipation of a galley showing her waterscapes. As an orphan, Cat has always felt a connection to water, but she never understood why. Cat and Xavier feel an instant attraction, but Xavier has sworn off sex. While they attempt to develop a relationship, events concurring around them that indicate a malicious power is in play. See what happens there. So wicked. Naked guy on the cover. That seems to be a trend. In the sixth novel in Cola's Moon Chaser series, the themes of love and redemption continue. This series is written so each book can be read on its own, and I found it to be distinctive in the story of Lycans and the usual stories about them. Tressa is a witch who has traveled for hundreds of years trying to escape the demon who enslaved her. Haunted by the sins of her past, she is determined to cause no more harm, electing to pay a lifetime of penance in finding love, something she can allow herself. Darius is an immortal cursed to live as a Lycan, constantly hunting the one who condemned him. Determined to deliver revenge on the demon witch, she is shocked to learn that Tessa isn't evil incarnate, but a beautiful, tempting woman. Although they are both tormented by years of pain, it seems that becoming lovers could be the antidote. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I forgot a couple. I'm gonna go back a minute. Oh, I did that one. Let me see the other one. One more. We'll do this one. 80. Emma Kane. Let's just get this one. River Creek Ranch. True Love at Silver Creek Ranch, Emma Kane. There's just something about Valentine Valley, whether it's an eccentric inhabitant, the warm welcome, or the air romance. Former Marine Adam DeSantis is back in town, sexy as ever, and trying to find a way to deal with the guilt left over from his last mission. He's come home to check on his aging grandmother, not starting a relationship, even if the hometown gal he rescues from a bonfire is more beautiful now than she was as a teenager. Cowed girl, Brooke Thalberg, has never one of the throngs of girls who fell all over the former high school football star. But she does need a new cowboy to help out on the family ranch. However, the moment their eyes lock, Adam and Brooke find their resolutions to remain unattached going out the window. Okay. All right. Back to urban fantasy. Diana Rowland, Touch of Demon. 4.5 stars. Rowland completely upends Kira Gillian's series in this installment. Everything we thought we knew about the inhabitants of Rowland's universe is called into question. Homicide cop and demon summoner Kara has been forcibly summoned into the demon realm by Demon Lord Massel. Although she's hoping for rescue by Demon Lord Rysel, Kara's fighting spirit is fully engaged. What is Massel after? Why does he want to break her connection with Rysel? Does it have anything to do with the truth about FBI agent Ryan Christoph? I'll have to read the book to find out. Steampunk. I did a whole if then on steampunk. Please go check out that video. I just saw it. I just saw it. Karina Cooper, The Gilded. This last one here. Almost naked girl on the cover. Ah, I just had it. 4.5 stars. Although heroine Sherry lives in a world so different from our own, Cooper's incredible talent for world building makes it all seem plausible. There are two sides to Cherry St. Croix. One is a society lady constantly disappointing the upper crust no matter how hard she tries. The other is a capable and formidable collector. As a bounty hunter, she courts danger and mystery and can be true to herself, even if she has to keep it a secret from everyone she loves. The gleaming world of Victorian London holds a dark underbelly with midnight menagerie at its center, and Cherry owes a debt to the seduction ringmaster. See what happens there. Um, Rachel. Yes, Rachel. Ah, ever after. She stopped at her like Cheryl Charlene Ken Charlene Harris did Sookie Stackhouse and Kim Harrison did Rachel. And they both stopped their series at 13 books. And Charlene Harris has never picked up a Sookie again. Kim Harrison, on the other hand, had a change of heart a few more years ago, and we've now gotten 4 or 5 additional Rachel books, and we will be doing this series. I've got the new one over there. It's in my to be read pile, so we'll get to that soon. I have done a few others. I like to savor these. I take my time with these, so these ones take a while. Um, Longtime fans will find their emotions running the gamut as events for many of Harrison's familiar characters take a new and continuing, sometimes tragic turn this time around. With Quinn's time being taken up with Siri and babies Lucy and Ray, he wants Rachel to step in to help protect Elvin Tycoon Trent. Rachel refuses, but soon Rachel, Trent, and Quinn are called in when children infected with Rosa syndrome suddenly begin disappearing. The dangers they all face are driven home dramatically when Sari and baby Lucy are kidnapped by the crazy demon Cusack, who is eager to draw Rachel out. But in order to rescue Siri and Lucy, Rachel must figure out how to prevent the demonic realm of Ever After from being destroyed. My gal pal there. Um, Bloodwinter, Diana Farrow Francis. The fourth adding Farrow Francis gut-wrenching series finds the characters facing winter, food shortages, and the loss of fellow warriors. As always, the relationships in these books are complex. The residents of Horngate will have to deal with a harsh winter and food shortages. So Max heads into town to check on the situation. Unfortunately, what Max discovers is a growing fundamentalist congregation led by Sterling Savage, a fire and brimstone preacher bent on destroying all magic. They quickly discover that Sterling is actually a witch being used as a puppet by an extremely powerful demon. The angels Terrestrial and Xephon still in a comatose state, Max realizes they are barely outmatched to save those she loved. Max may have to embark on a suicide mission. Oops. We don't like that at all. Um, ah, you, my dear lady, are the one that broke my candles. There is. See that corner over there where the extension cord is? There's a. See how, you know how tall those 5 things bookcases are? There's a broken candle down in there. There's one of those down there. And it doesn't look all that broken. It looks like one of my Christmas. I put my Christmas houses up there. If you watch my Christmas videos, looks like one of those fell a long time ago, and the candle fell on top of it. It doesn't look that broken, but to get to that, I need to move all these bookcases out of the way. So I may never get it. The candle itself can be replaced. It's the shade that's valuable. They don't do those shades anymore. And there's 2 different shades over there. I'll have to do a video on those one day. I will never light those. I will never light all those candles. There's 36. Well, actually, yeah, 36. Um, and I have, maybe I'll do a video on the candle warmers. If you want to, I have some candles over there that have been burning for well over 15 years. Hand to God. And they were little ones. They were like this. Using a candle warmer, you can make a candle last forever. You burn it from the top with the wick, it'll go a little quickly. But you can take one of these big suckers, put it on a candle warmer. If you only run it during the day, only for a few hours every day, it could last you years. I had a relative who would put it on the candle warmer and leave it 24/7. And I think it would last a couple of months or so on the candle warmer. But these are the books that the reason I said she's the one that destroyed my candle was because I was putting up her books and I put the candle there. I should have put one of my bookends there first before I put the candle up there. And I put the candle up there and the books fell and that was the end of it. So, Miss D.B. Reynolds, you killed my candle. But if you haven't done these books, we'll have to do the series real quick one day because some of them are little novelettes, little itty bitty novel, the Vampires in America thing. But these are good. You want a little vampire, you want a little sex. These are good. 4 stars. In one of the most compelling vampire books I've read in a while, Reynolds blends an exciting mix of paranormal elements, suspense, and combustible attraction between Lucas and Catherine. Special Agent Catherine Hunter's brother Daniel goes missing while on photography trip in South Dakota, and it appears that his last known destination was a vampire blood bar. Catherine doesn't know much about vampires, but she will move heaven and earth to find her brother, even if it means teaming up with Lucas, Lord and Master of the Plains territory. War is brewing between the vampire clans, so the timing couldn't be any worse for Lucas. But he's not letting Catherine run because this hunt has just begun and its failure is not an option. And it's become a little on the personal side, too. See that? Oh, look, I lost one. Alright, let's go back. Is that the end of you? I did that one. Let's go back and do this last one. Another one I skipped earlier. It's got to be Unless she is... Nope. I'm trying to compile stuff for If Then. I've got a special If Then coming up. If you haven't watched my If Then for uh, January new releases, please do so. And we're getting ready to do February new releases in a couple weeks. It might take a couple of Fridays to get that done. So this isn't even in here. Let me try. No wonder I missed it, because it's not here. Alright, so and for 2015, which we probably won't get there for several months, I just bought a whole slew of Harlequins for the 2015. She is not in here at all. So I don't know why I got this book. It's literally not in here. I don't know why I got this book. It's not in. Oh, there she is. Romantic Suspense. Linda Howard, Showered Woman. Howard's edgy side comes on strong in this dazzling new book that is heavy on thrills and chilling deceit. Harkening back to her espionage lace tales, Howard's newest heroine wakes up one morning not recognizing herself or parts of her life. Lisette Henry's life is very calm and predictable until the morning she wakes up, looks in the mirror, and doesn't recognize herself. Not only is her face different, but there seem to be holes in her memory that cause excruciating pain as she tries to remember why on earth she would be worried about electronic listening devices or cell phone tracking. On the other hand, of the tracking and eavesdropping devices in Lizzie's house, a mysterious man named Xavier is listening. As Lizzie's memories begin to resurface, for Xavier, this is a signal that Lisette may be in danger. Okay. Alright, now that we did all those. On to Harlequin. Did you know you have to go watch my Harlequin If Then way back when? Do you know there's Harlequins for cowboys, there's Harlequins for doctors, there's Harlequin for sheiks, there's Harlequins for millionaires, there's Harlequins for fire, police, I forget what I had the word and it just left me. But, those kind of occupations. Then there's the lawyers, if you want to fall in love with a lawyer. There's one for pregnant people, if you want to fall in love with pregnant people. There's one for NASCAR. There's one for vampires, Nocturne. There's one for African Americans. There's one for military. There's a genre for all of them with Harlequins. So we're just going to go through these. We've got a few different pages here. All right. I did color, right? Yeah, I did color. All right, so, Palmer. All right, let's do Palmer real quick. Um, Love Untamed. For fans of the series will be very pleased with the consistent characters and basic premise. Fox is very eager to prove himself on the newest members of the Pharaoh Warriors when paired with renowned owner Melisandre. He discovers that they work well together on the front lines against their mortal enemy Damus. Fox expects her to fall at his feet for his considerable charm, but instead he is spellbound by her beauty. Melisandre has endured intense suffering, leading to a passionate hatred of shapeshifters. Don't know. Alright, so we have two we have two full pages. We have this one So we're going to come and look at these in a second. And we have these other ones we'll look at. I thought I had another. Let me see what this one says. And this one. So we're going to talk about. She's not listed. Otherwise, I'd bring her up. But if you watch my African American authors ones, my if-thens, you'll see that I talk about these too. A whole bunch of different Black authors, really good, really worth reading Black authors. I also did Native American authors, and I did a review of Lost Birds, and Anne Hillerman actually thanked me for my review. That boosted my ego just a little bitty. I would like to know people know they exist, though. Spreading the gospel. There you go. I love this magazine. I really do. All right, so let's get down to some Harlequins, some HQs. I had a lady. We got a huge shipment of Harlequins in the other day. And that's why I got, they were 15s and 16s, so that's why I got some for 15. But I had a couple of customers come in, and they literally bought 40 books apiece. They were so excited to see that many Harlequins in one place. Although one of the, we were selling them very, very inexpensively. There was another shop down the block that was, I was in there 6 months ago, and they had about 200, and they were selling them for 5 times, actually 10 times what we were selling them for. That's how inexpensively we were selling them for. So the risk taker is Harlequin Blaze, and it's Kira Sinclair, and it's naked guy on the cover. Now just remember, this video will take 20 hours to upload. I'll be here at midnight. And I want to do a Catherine Coulter later too, so we'll see what happens. Traumatized Army Ranger Gage Harper has recently returned home from war, where he is abducted, held captive, and tortured. While his guilt and inner turmoil prevent him from feeling like a hero, there's a lot of public interest in his story, which he is reluctant to tell. But his ambitious, unrequited childhood love, Hope Rawlings, hopes to reconnect with Gage and get the story, launching her journalism career she always wanted. Aww. So on one hand, she loves him, but on the other hand, she wants to use him to get her career started. I could see a little bit of conflict there. Harlequin Desire. All or Nothing by Catherine Mann. Former bad boy turned Interpol agent and billionaire Conrad Hughes never thought his shadow life would put his estranged life in danger. But when he finds out Jane may have been targeted by a villain from his past, he'll do anything to keep her safe and win her back. Jane was tired of living on the outskirts of her husband's life, but now she must face the truth. There's plenty of fire, action, and romance there, plus a deep connection between the characters that leave readers begging for more after the book ends. Harlequin Nocturne. Reinhard Byrne. I've had her stuff. I've had her books. When Chelsea Smart goes to the mountains of Maryland searching for her missing younger sister, she meets Eric Drake. Eric is a powerful lycan in the Silvercrest Pact who has a bit of outcast because his evil father tried to hurt the pack. He is determined to keep Chelsea safe after she stumbles into a ring of lycans who are drugging young women and using them as prostitutes. Okay? Um, Shurian Lane, the soldier's sweetheart. Harlequin romance. Um, but 4.5 stars. Sorlin. Nate Colhan used to be the town's charmer. 6 years earlier, he left his ranch in Lockville and his teenage sweetheart to join the army. Now he has returned. Injured both mentally and physically, Sarah Anderson is in a charge of organizing the fall festival, where there will be a tribute to Nate's father, and she thinks it will be a healing for him to spend time with family and friends. But Nate's having a hard time adjusting, and emotions stir once he sees Sarah again. Can Sarah help him discover the man he once was, or has he lost the drive to live for good? Romantic suspense, cowboy with a cause, Carla Cassidy. Um, Still reeling from condition that suddenly put her in a wheelchair. Ex-dancer Melanie Brooke is still bitter. When local cowboy Adam Spencer rents the upstairs floors of her house, she doesn't necessarily want him in her space and hopes he keeps to himself. But Adam does the opposite, attracted and sympathetic to his stunning, beautiful, grouchy landlord. He wants Melanie to stop hiding and start living. Until Melanie is threatened, Cassidy crafts sympathetic characters in Adam and Melanie along with a strong, well-developed plot. Um, Harlequin Special Edition, From Neighbors to Newlyweds. Brenda Harlan. Georgia reads in danger of losing her heart to hunky neighbor who has stirred her feelings that can be dormant since her husband's death. But there are three little hearts on the line. Besides hers, Dr. Matt Garrett is a family man without the family until he moves right next door to a perfect, and it's not only the beautiful woman he wants. Her three kids have also stolen his heart. Aww. Back to Good Fortune Dinner. You can't see it with the Back to Good Fortune Dinner. Just had it. Harlequin Super Romance. After losing her job in New York City, Tiffany Chung is forced to retreat to her family's home in upstate New York since she can no longer afford to live in the city. Once she runs into Chris Jamison, her old high school crush, who hires her to tutor his teenage son in English. But even though she's attracted to Chris, Tiffany has every intention of going back to the city as soon as she can find a job. Tiffany and Chris's challenges are a perfect depiction of modern relationship troubles many of us face in the light of a hearted, charming story. Beauty in Disguise, Mary Moore. Harlequin inspired historical. On her first season, 17-year-old Lady Catherine de Montcliffe falls for Lord Christopher Dalton. However, a slick-tongued fortune hunter betrays and ruins him. 9 years have passed, and Catherine hides who she really is and acts as a companion to a spoiled young girl. When Christopher, now an earl, comes to visit the family she works for, Kate fears what he will do if he discovers her true identity. See what happens. The General's Secretary. Love-inspired suspense. Lily Beaumont has terrifying dreams since her mother disappeared when Lily was 4. When a man shows up at her door begging to be freed from his past, he mentions her mother and then dies. Agent Dawson Timmons learns that deceased is Granger Ford, who served time for the murder of Lily's mother. Granger is also Dawson's estranged father. What did Granger know, and how is it related to the unsolved murders? See what happens there. Now, back to Kimmy. This was in the earlier pages, right? 25. All right, so let's see here. Love. All right, that's the first one here. To Return by Yasmin Sullivan. 6 years ago, Regina Gibson and Nigel Johns were engaged and preparing for a happily ever after. But Nigel's failure to grow up and become serious about his life caused Regina to call off things. Nigel is now a successful investment broker, hoping to prove Regina that he is now the man she needs. While the attraction is still there, a 6-year-old secret makes it hard for Regina to give Nigel another chance. Okay? Always and Forever, the book next to it. Jamel Johnson and Priscilla Love have a lot in common, including a strong chemistry that ignited during a mutual friend's wedding. Though sparks flew of previous relationship forces Felicity to keep her distance. It isn't until Johnson recruits her for help at restoration project that she realizes how futile her attempts have been. While Jamil is ready to throw himself headlong into a relationship, Phyllis is who must come to grips with her feelings for him. See what happens there? Oops, naked guy on the cover. Passion by the Book, Pamela Yeh. Simon and Marcus Young are living in the lap of luxury due to Marcus's successful string of gems. Though the two are still in love after 5 years of marriage, Simone feels that Marcus is spending more and more time and less time with her and her twin sons. Fearing that they are growing apart, Simone buys a book that promises to teach her how to seduce her husband. Okay, and Better for Us, Vanessa Miller. Ryland Evans and Noel Carter were deeply in love in college and on their way to getting married, but a misunderstanding involving another woman caused Ryla to break things off and run away while pregnant. 7 years later, Noel runs into Ryla and their daughter, Jalen, and demands some answers. See what happens there. Arm is getting tired. And I don't think, I don't know why I wrote that. But anyway, Kelly Jameson, Rules of Three. We'll just do, oh, this is getting long. Rule of Three. I do not, I know I wrote the price. I don't know why. I used to write in this magazine and I'm very upset with myself for having done that. 4.5 stars. Jameson latest is seducting and betwitching from the very start, opening with a steamy shower scene that hints of sizzling erotic to come. As the story is told from the points of view of all three main characters, with experience the passion and love that each member of the threesome feel for one another, in addition to well-written, hot, and explicit sex scenes. Cassidy has just moved into her new home with her handsome, sexy, and successful boyfriend Chris, and her life couldn't be happier. However, Cassidy can't help but be dangerously attracted to Dad, Chris's seductive best friend. I feel a trio coming on. Bonds of Trust, Lydia Aker. Bonds of Trust is beautifully detailed erotic romance that is driven by the character's love and not just sex. Thus, the blossoming of trust between Callie and Jake has real and natural pace to it, with nothing feels forced. And this enables much deeper connection between the reader and the story. Years after her sexless marriage, Carrie Reynolds finds the courage to become a member of the Den, an exclusive sex club that hopes will help her figure out exactly what she needs. Jake McAllister gives her the first tour of the club and a first taste of BDSM. See what happens there. So I think we have come to the end of January. We have done over 70 books. Probably more than that with all the Harlequins. Probably 80 books. So, here you go. Romantic Times book review. Have a good day. Please don't forget to check out If Thens on Friday and Star Trek recaps, Flashback Monday, and my daily book reviews. Have a good one.